Alrighty, looks like everybody's back and that's fabulous. Alright, so today is a stitch and chat day. I'm going to sit and I'm going to stitch and we're going to chat. Hopefully I'll have some participants. I'm not just talking to myself because that could happen. Before we get into the stitch and chat, I'll just chat a minute about everything that's going on. Hopefully there will be a newsletter coming out by Friday. Tina sent me some stuff. Yay, Tina! So I can hopefully get everybody up to date. We're going to do that big clearance event. It will probably start when the newsletter comes out. So, hi Kathy, it could start, Friday. And we're going to do like 20% off a lot of stuff and 30% off another bunch of stuff and then 40% off on our fleece and possibly the roving because we're going to cut back on that. It takes up a lot of space. It's great stuff, but it takes up a lot of space and we want to use some of that space for a new order from Japan. Tatting thread and shuttles and sashiko kits and all kinds of fun stuff. So that's the goal. We're going to do a big clearance event, so there's going to be, some stuff coming out. And we haven't announced the winners yet for Slow Yarn Crawl, but those are coming. The shops have started announcing them. And I think all of the submissions are finally in. Those were due by last night. So I need to release all of the patterns back to our designers today and make sure that everybody claims them. So yeah, lots of fun stuff going on. What else do I need to tell you? Today we're just going to do our little stitch and chat. So if you have a question about embroidery or knitting or spinning or anything else, then it's a stitch and chat. So I'm going to be here. I'll show you what I'm working on, which is still the sampler, and I'm still in the same place that I stopped on Monday. Yeah. And then we'll talk about what we want to do next week. So I'd kind of like to do some tatting. I was thinking maybe a comparison of some tatting threads. I have some Lizbeth in different sizes. I have some DMC in different sizes. I think I have some Floretta. I have the, what else do I have? I have a couple of metallics that we could look at. We could talk about tatting with wire. So I was kind of thinking next week would be fun if we did sort of like a comparison of threads and talked about thread sizing and ply and twist again in relation to that. Oh, let's see, and you love the stitching, and we are getting that smoke over here on the lakeshore in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Ugh, yeah. Man, I have friends in Michigan, too, that have been talking about it. I've actually been to Manitowoc, by the way. I've also been to Oshkosh, and I've been to Waukesha, and I'm trying to think where else I've been. And I have a friend that lives in Endeavor. So I actually went up there in July and took Ina and we did a quilting week. That was a lot of fun up in Wisconsin. But yes, I've been seeing reports that, man, that smoke is just drifting like all the way across the top of the U.S. now. Luckily, we haven't really seen much of it here. We are a little further down in St. Louis than a lot of the U.S. that's going to see the haze. I guess the haze. It's not really a smoke, it's the haze. It's going to drift across the U.S. It's awful. I suppose I could stitch while I'm doing this. So, yeah, I was kind of thinking next week that on Monday at least, I want to talk about some tatting threads and some different things with sizing and just general information that's kind of nice to have. Even if you are not a tatter, it's an interesting thing to talk about your different threads and sizing and ply and twist and how that affects everything. So yeah, that was kind of my thought, unless someone else has a better idea, because I'm always open to better ideas. So if you have something that you want me to talk about or something that you'd like me to teach, feel free to just, you know, slap a little comment here on Facebook or email me. That's also okay. So you can email me. That's Kelly, K-E-L-L-I. I'm Kelly with an I. At symbol Black Sheep, ATORENCO.com. So that's Kelly at blacksheep@orenco.com, and you can get in touch with me with any ideas about you know, things that you would like me to teach. So I know a little bit about spinning. I'm not a master spinner by any means, but I know enough. I know enough about spinning. I do pretty well at tatting. Again, I'm not a master tatter, but I know enough. I know quite a bit about knitting, so we can cover lots and lots of knitting topics. I can talk about why I don't like brioche if you want, or we can talk about why I love socks, because I know that's a really silly thing to love, but I do love socks. We can do, I don't know, we could do more lessons on darning. I could get out the sweater stone and we could talk about pilling on sweaters and why that happens. And what to do if you happen to have a beloved sweater that is pilling badly, and how to fix it. So I thought that would be a really good topic, especially as we're coming into sweater season. And if you did not get your sweaters washed earlier this year, now's the time to do it. Last gasp of summer, now is the time to do it so that they can dry and you can wear them and everything will be super happy. So if you did not take the time to wash your sweaters, because they don't need to be washed very often, then, oh, it sounds like we've got something going by. Yeah, now is the time to finish getting your sweaters all washed and dried and taken care of. Oh, shoot. Yeah, let's see that. This happens. Here, I wasn't paying attention. I was talking to you guys, and I'm just stitching along, and I made a nice big old knot in the back of my work. Well, this isn't going to be pretty. Here's what happens when you don't pay attention. See my lump? This is a lump. This isn't good. There's my lump of stitches. Yeah, that's not desirable. So I have to decide if I am going to take my stitching out. Yeah, I'm going to take my stitching out. I don't like it. It's not good enough. I'm not exactly a perfectionist, but something like that, the big lump, yeah, I can't handle it. Cannot handle it. Does not work for me. Does not compute. There. Now, let's see. I've got it stitched in pretty decent. I'm just going to leave it. It's a sampler. My ends are probably stitched down enough. It should be okay. I don't know what I did there, but it was not pretty. Don't do that. Don't do that. Pay attention when you're working. Make sure that you're, there's where it happened. Make sure that your work stays tidy and doesn't cause problems while you're talking. That is the problem too. Like, I can't drink wine and knit because yeah, I make mistakes, and oh doggy do I ever make mistakes, big mistakes. It's bad. So I don't recommend, if you're going to like sit and knit and chat and drink with others, it's a really good idea to work on something like stockinette or garter stitch or something easy or something you have really well memorized, because otherwise things like that happen. Or like I just did there, I got the big knot in the back of my work. And it's just not pretty and I can't handle it. It's a lot of things that I can forgive, but not that. It just wasn't good enough. I expect better of myself. And I'm just trying to drop a few more stitches in here before I switch to another color. So does anybody have questions or suggestions? And Beverly says she likes socks too. See, yeah, totally about the socks. I'm all about my socks, man. I like socks a lot. I find that they're kind of a hug for my feet. I have kind of hard wearing skin on my heels, if you know what I mean. I hate to say it, they're a little bit crusty. It's kind of a family trait. And my feet always feel better when I'm in wool socks. In fact, I bought a pair of like wool and nylon tennis shoes because I used to be pretty diehard. Like, I loved Clarks and I wore Clarks a lot. Tennis shoes have always been a problem for me, finding ones that like fit my feet and felt good. So I ended up buying, yeah, just kind of randomly, some Merinos tennis shoes recently. I did it recently, and I really love them. They fit well, they feel good, and I feel a little guilty because, you know, they do still have some plastic in them. And I have just become more and more aware that I should really start cutting back on the amount of plastic that I am using and throwing away. And I know there's a giant recycling problem in America. And, well, hello! I'm terribly sorry, but I don't think I could say that name without some guidance. But hello, it's nice to see you. So, you know, we actually do get our milk in glass bottles. We have a company called Oberweis, and I go to Oberweis. That's where I get my milk. Oh, you're having issues with the voice cutting out? Uh-oh. I bet my internet's bad. Sometimes that, let me see if I can fix. Hey, Sally. Well, I'm so sorry if the voice keeps cutting out. I can't get in to access my Wi-Fi with this going on, but I bet that my Wi-Fi is bad. So, oh, and Kathy is multitasking. I love you, Kathy. She's Facebook messaging and picking out yarn. I do that all the time. So yeah, I don't know. What was I talking about? And yeah, plastic. So I am trying to make a conscious effort and think about my plastic choices and try to cut back on my plastic usage. And so you know, I bought my merino wool shoes just to try, and it'll be all kinds of fun, right? But I really like the shoes. They're super comfy. I wish that they were a little more wool and a little less nylon plastic, but that's okay. And I am the kind of person, like, I keep stuff forever, and then I wear it, you know, kind of until it wears out. And I also make sure that, oh, I didn't put the beeswax on. A little bit of beeswax goes a long way. It's very helpful. There we go. Like, I darn my wool socks, and when something gets a hole in it, if I can't repair it, then I often turn it into something else, or I use it for rags, right? Because rags are, I mean, you always need rags. You know, the dog throws up and you gotta go clean the spot, so you use a rag. Okay, maybe I'm the only one that does that. I can't be the only one that does that. Anyhow, there we go. I'm starting this new color. Bring this color in for my needle painting. Hope I picked the right color. I think I did. I think this is the third shade of orange. Pretty sure this is the third shade of orange. Anyhow. I mean, I've even started making, there we go. making some clothes for Ina because, you know, I'm thinking about the fast fashion and how we just toss stuff out all the time. And, you know, we can do better, right? We can do better. You know, I love to knit, and I don't want my knitted items falling apart because I want to wear them for a long time. So you have to take care of them. And I think, you know, there's a little bit of like a knowledge gap that I think happened in the last generation, where maybe, you know, we didn't ask the right questions. We didn't know what questions to ask to, you know, like, there's a lot of things I wish I'd asked my grandmother now, and about ways that she did things, and maybe I wouldn't do it that way, but maybe it would spark an idea for how I might do something. You know, before she died, one Christmas I told her I didn't really want anything for Christmas except her recipes. I just wanted her to write down some of her recipes because you know, I didn't want them to go away. They were tasty and I liked them, right? So I asked my grandma to write down her recipes for Christmas, and she did. And she wrote them down, and sometimes all they would say would be like, you need sugar, water, vinegar, and shredded cabbage, and celery salt, and what else goes in her coleslaw? Celery seed, and sometimes she would put in a little bit of shredded carrot. And there were no measurements at all. She just always did it by taste. And, you know, when you're first starting out and learning to cook, that's really hard. It's a little bit like knitting. You know, you learn knit and you learn purl, but how do you put that together, and what do you look for in order to make an item? And there's a lot of knowledge that you build up as you knit that you may not think about, in terms of understanding the relationship between your knit and your purl, and your needles, and the tension, and yarn gauge, and why swatching is important, because a lot of people just really don't think that swatching is important. But for me, it's not just a practice piece for that specific item. It's a practice piece that helps you to learn more about knitting and more about how to put your knitting together to make something. So yeah, anyway, I feel like there was a bit of a knowledge gap, and you know, I feel like I'm constantly learning new things, and the internet is definitely a blessing. It's a curse, but it's a blessing, right? Because here I am, I'm coming to you and I'm talking to you about, hey, what do you want to learn? What do you want me to teach you? And then I'm rambling on about, you know, knowledge gaps. And I'm also stitching on this, and it's sort of a hot mess, but I'm just going with it, because it's a sampler and it's my sampler, and boy howdy, if I want to have a hot mess, I can. So anyway, I love long and short stitch, but I'm definitely not the best at it yet. I don't know if I ever will be the best at it. Don't think I have quite the desire. So here's how it's coming. It's, you know, it's getting there. It's oh wait, where's my camera? There we go. It's okay. Not fabulous, but it's okay. I'm getting there. You know, we're having our little sit and stitch. And I did get Ina to finally go take a nap. Boy, I thought she was not going to take a nap today. She had the hiccups. I had to scare her a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit to kind of surprise her. I suppose that's a better word for it. I surprised her a little bit so she would stop hiccuping. Poor little thing. And she was so cute. So I went out. I have like a front porch door, and then we have a garage door, and then we have like 2 deck doors. And there's so many doors. There's so many doors. A couple of downstairs doors. There's lots of doors. And so I walked out the porch door, and I was like, "Bye, Ina, I'm leaving." And she was very confused. "Why is Mommy leaving? You know, what are you doing?" And I walked out and around and came in the garage door and snuck up behind her and then went, "Boo," real quiet. And she went, "Oh, oh!" And she thought it was so funny, but she stopped hiccuping. And that was kind of the purpose of that, was that I surprised her and it made her stop hiccuping. So, all right, I think it's time to go back to my, maybe just a few more lines. A few more lines. How do I end up on this side? It's about time to bring my dark orange back, or my medium orange, I should say, back into play, so that I can keep working on my little sample here. All right, any questions? Anybody want to throw out questions? You know, could be tatting related, or knitting related, or spinning. I can talk about sewing, because I've been on a great little journey there. I've learned a lot about what not to do. I think that is a lot of how I learn, is the what not to do. I'm very good at learning what not to do. Okay. This could have been tidier, but oh well. I'll just secure my end. This is not going to be the prettiest back. Usually I have prettier backs, but not this time. Okay, I'll go grab some of that medium orange. And remember, as you are reloading your needle, that you always bring your needle to your thread, not your thread to your needle. Because that makes it faster, just like that. Makes it faster for threading. There's just something about it. Okay. Get this started. Alright, so if nobody has questions, then I am going to log off here, and I will be back on Monday. Yep, I'll be back on Monday, and we'll do some kind of comparison of tatting threads, because I think that would be fun. I got, what was that, Eliza maybe? I got some new Eliza from Lizbeth to try out, and what else did I get? I have the metallic that we can try, the Simthread metallic that I can talk about, and I think I still, like I said, I think I have some Floretta and some DMC and some Lizbeth, and I have some different sizes, so we can take a look at that. I don't think I have the Aunt Lydia's crochet cotton anymore. I'm pretty sure that I let my stash of that go, because it's just, I didn't enjoy working with it. Great for crochet, which if I was doing more thread crochet, I would probably have kept it. But just not really what I look for in a tatting thread. So, we can talk about metal a little bit, like tatting with metal. So that's sort of my thought for, ooh, I'm doing just a terrible job on this. I should have brought that down more. Okay, I might be ripping this out so that I can bring that light color down more. I don't think that there's enough of it. Yep, so I'm totally gonna rip this out. Alright, so we will talk later. This is how you like tear this long and short stitch out, by the way, is I'm just like sliding my needle under that last stitch that I made and just pulling the whole thing out. Sometimes you might actually have to cut your work out, but if you can avoid that, you're better off. So yeah, I am No, I am taking this medium orange out so that I can put more of the light in. There's just not enough of that light orange in the middle yet. So, good to know. Oh, it's okay to know. There we go. And I might just keep that over to the side instead of, since I've already got it woven in. Alright, so, look for a newsletter soon, look for a big clearance event soon, look for some new stuff from Japan in probably a month-ish, maybe a little longer. Trying to think what else. Don't forget that Tina's usually on Fridays, and she'll chat with you for a while. She's still working on her t-shirt knit along. And I do have my lace shawl knit along. I do. I brought it out here, and like, here's proof that I still have it on the needles, and it's still not finished. And in fact, I just pulled a few stitches off, but I'm just gonna pick them back up, and then I'll fix it later. Do-de-do-do. It's not the end of the world when you pull a few stitches off. There. Alright, there. See, I still have it. Still there. And in fact, I'm probably going to go in and work on that for a little while because it needs some love. And I really want to finish this so that we can block it live, because it'll be so much fun to block it. Anyway. Until next time. Stay safe, stay well, stay crafty, wear your mask. Take care of your mental health, take care of your physical health. I'm trying to do my yoga again. I had to take a little break because I pulled something in my hip, and, well, and yoga was not possible for a few days. At least not the stretchy kind of yoga that I like to do. Anyway. And don't forget to like our Facebook page so you know when we are online live. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if that's where you're finding us, so that you get notifications when we put up new videos. And I do try to put those up every time that I take one. And anyway, Monday we'll do something with tatting. So until next time.